Hi guys, welcome to Unit 3, Lesson 10, Finding Missing Angles. Okay, so up until this point we've talked a lot about these four different types of angles, right? And we've used their definitions and their relationships with each other in order to solve for their angle measures or maybe solve for a variable, okay? So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. And again, I want you to kind of treat it like a puzzle, right? Using some information that we have, using clues that we're given, what can we do with that information in order to solve? Okay, so first off, let's review. We've got adjacent angles. Okay, so that's angles that share a side, or I should say one side, and a vertex. Okay, so like if I were to draw this, those would be two adjacent angles, right? Because they share this side and they share this vertex. Okay? Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Okay? So two angles, let's draw a 90-degree angle and we'll split it up into two. Right? So in this case, there's two complementary angles, and we know that they're making a right angle or a 90-degree angle because of that square. Okay? It's like saying that it's a square corner, right? Supplementary angles are two angles or angles that add, I guess I should take out the two, angles that add up to 180 degrees. So that makes a line. Okay, so that could look something like that. When those two angles are smushed together, they make that straight line, which is also a 180-degree angle. Okay, and then vertical angles, they are opposite angles when two lines cross, okay, or intersect. All right, so that would look something like this. There's one line, there's another line. So the vertical angles in this picture, let me get some colors in there. This would be a vertical angle with this angle. Okay, the same is true for the other ones, right? This one right here is a vertical angle with that one. Okay, so the two angles that are across from each other when those lines cross. Okay, so all of that in mind, let's do some practice problems and use that information, use those clues for us to solve. So for number one, it looks very tiny on here. I apologize for that. I didn't think about that when I was drawing it. Okay, this is number 3 from your practice. It says, if the measure of angle 8, that's right here if you can't tell with my tiny writing, is 45 degrees, what equation can you write to find the value of the measurement of angle 7? So with this one, we're just building the equation, okay? So for this, it gives you a little bit of the setup. It says the measure of angle 7 plus something equals something, right? So in this case, notice angle 8 and angle 7, when they're smushed together, they make this straight line, okay? Which means that they are supplementary or they equal 180 degrees. So we could take the measure of angle 7, we could add it to the measure of angle 8, which is 45, and those added together should equal 180. Okay, so that's what your practice is going to be looking for, are those two numbers there. All right, the next one that I've got set up for you is number 4 from your practice. It says together the measures of angle B, C, and D equal 180 degrees. The angles have the following measures. Measure of angle B is 25 degrees, the measure of angle C is 3x degrees, and the measure of angle D is 3x plus 5 degrees. What are the measures of angle C and D? So, in this case, we've got, let's see, well, and I don't need to put those. We'll put angle B plus angle C plus angle D. It told us that those are all equal to 180 degrees. Okay? So, with that, we can plug in what we know. We know that angle B is equal to 25. We know that angle C is equal to 3x. And we know that D is 3x plus 5. And again, those are still adding up to 180. Well, next we can combine like terms, right? Hopefully you notice right here we've got 3x plus 3x. Those would be equal to 6x. We can combine these as well. 25 plus 5, those are both constants, right? 25 is always equal to 25. 5, is always equal to 5. So we could add those together. Remember, you got to pay attention to the sign that's in front of the number. So this is a positive 25 being added to a positive 5. And those still equal 180 degrees. Now it's just a two-step equation. We've been dealing with this stuff for quite a while now, right? We can subtract 30 from both sides. Those will cancel over on the left. We're left with 6x equals 150. Okay, well 6x, that's being multiplied. So in order to solve, I need to do the opposite, which is divide. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Those will cancel on the left. And I'm kind of running out of room. I'm going to run into number 3. But x is equal to, and then 150 divided by 6. Let's see here. I'm just going to do it on my calculator. 150 divided by 6. Oh, 25. Duh. Oh my goodness. I'm tired. Okay, so x is equal to 25. Now, but that's not the final answer that we're looking for. We're looking for what is the measure of angle C and what is the measure of angle D. We can use x to plug it back in to solve for those. So measure of angle C equals 3x. Well, that's 3 times 25 now, which is 75. Okay, so that helps. There's the measure of angle C. The measure of angle D, well, we could plug it in, but really we could just add 5 to this one, right? Because the measure of angle D was 3x plus 5. Well, so 3 times 25, we already know that is equal to 75. And then plus 5 is 80. I should have put my degree symbol in there. Right? So there's your two answers. All right? So we found x, and then we plugged it back into measure of angle C and D to solve. All right? Ooh, one good thing for us to do, though, let's see. Measure of angle B was 25 degrees. So we could say 25 plus 75 plus 80, and they do equal 180 degrees. And that's good because that's what we were told that they were going to add up to. So that way we know we're right. All right, number 3 is number 4 on your quick check. If there are two supplementary angles, the measure of angle D and angle E, where the measure of angle D is 4x plus 8, and the measure of angle E is x plus 17, and F is vertical with angle D, what is the measure of angle F? Whew! There's all kinds of stuff going on in there, right? So, first off, we know a few things, and it might help us to draw at least like a quick diagram, right? So, and this might not be accurate at all, I don't know. But let's see, we know that D and E are supplementary, right? So they make a straight line. And then F is vertical with D, so here's angle F. Okay, well there's a couple things we know. One, supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so that's one thing. Then we know that vertical angles, remember those are equal to each other. So once we find angle D, then F is equal to that. All right, so that's our strategy. So we can add angle D plus angle E equals 180. So we've got 4x plus 8 plus x plus 17 is all equal to 180 degrees. So let's see, 4x plus another x gives us 5x plus, and then 8 plus 17, what's that, 25, equals 180. Okay, and then we're just solving like we have already in the past. So we'll subtract 25 from both sides. They'll cancel. On the left we have 5x equals 100, what's that, 55. And then divide by 5, divide by 5x. Let's see, 155. I should know this, but Miss Angel's tired today. Divided by 5, that gives us 31. 31, so x is equal to 31. Now we need to take that and we know that angle D is equal to angle F. So for angle D, that was equal to 4x plus 8. Well, 4x plus 8, let's see, that's 4 times 31 plus 8. And that's also going to be equal to angle F. Well, let's see. 31, 1 times 4 is 4. Hold that in your brain. 4 times 30 is 120. So we've got 124 plus 8, right, equals angle F. Well, 124 plus 8 is equal to 132 degrees. That would be your final answer. Okay? So hang in there. I know there's a lot of steps in these problems, but if you need extra help, just let me know. Okay? Have an awesome day.